Hello, welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the most important events of the day. I am your host, Ilham Ahmedov. On February 15th, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg made a phone call to President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. During the conversation, NATO Secretary General expresses gratitude to President Ilham Aliyev for his visit to NATO last December and for his speech at the meeting of the North Atlantic Council, the organization's supreme governing body. The head of state thanked for the invitation and the hospitality. The sides praised the development of Azerbaijan-NATO relations and exchanged views on the post-conflict situation in the South Caucasus region, the ongoing processes around Ukraine, and the current situation in the global energy market. NATO Secretary General commended Azerbaijan for being a reliable gas supplier of Europe and for increasing gas exports. President Ilham Aliyev noted that Azerbaijan would continue to be a reliable partner as an important exporter of energy products. Since the signing of the trilateral statement between Azerbaijan, Russia and Armenia, our positions have been subjected to fire 98 times. This took place both on Azerbaijan-Armenia state border and on the territory of Azerbaijan, where Russian peacekeepers are temporarily deployed. That means that Armenia remains a severe threat to stability in the region.
About a month after the signing of the trilateral statement on December 12, 2020, the Defense Ministry released a report. The Armenian side violated the ceasefire regime and committed a provocation on the Azerbaijani territories liberated from the occupation. Armed forces of Azerbaijan conducted adequate retaliatory measures. A year has passed since the signing of the statement. The Azerbaijani side presented 98 official reports of Armenian provocations. This demonstrates that the Armenian side doesn't comply with its obligations. Naturally, against the backdrop of the events taking place, the world once again witnessed the true faces of both Azerbaijan and Armenia. Azerbaijan creates decently effective cooperation systems, positioning itself as a reliable partner, continues to enhance its international image. However, in Armenia, till this day, there are a lot of those who don't desire normalization of relations with Azerbaijan. One way or another, the revanchist rhetoric is in the shamefully defeated country, fired shots at the border give grounds for this statement. Last time, units of the Armenian armed forces, without any reason, with firearms, subjected to fire our position in the Kabajar direction. As a result of the retaliatory measures, the enemy was suppressed. All of that tells us that Armenia is not a supporter of stability in the region. Armenia is a state without prospects. In fact, as a result of the occupations that lasted 30 years, it did not form as an independent state, it did not pursue an independent policy, and did not build an economy. As a result, the army was destroyed in 44 days. Myths about it were buried, but it's not too late to learn from your mistakes.
On February 14, starting from 1845, the Armenian Armed Forces units from the positions in the Zarkant settlement of the Basarkachar district was no reason using small arms periodically subjected to fire the Azerbaijani army positions in the direction of Barmagbina settlement of Kalbajar district. On February 15th, at about 1:40, the Azerbaijani army positions in the direction of Aghbulaq settlement of Tovuz district were subjected to fire from the positions in Chinarli settlement of Tovuz-Gala region. The Azerbaijani army took adequate retaliatory measures. The visit of President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva to Aghdam district was in the focus of the Georgian media. News portals 24news.ge, Aktual.ge, Interpress.ge posted articles on the Azerbaijani president's visit to Aghdam and the remarks he made at the Aghdam Juma Mosque. The news portals highlighted the restoration work to be carried out at the Aghdam Juma Mosque, the construction work in the liberated lands, and the peace agreement with the Armenians. The Egyptian media outlets, including Asia Al-Yom news agency and Al-Masriya news website, have posted an article highlighting Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev's and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva's visit to the tombs and house Imaret complex of the Karabakh Khans in Aghdam. The article drew readers' attention to the fact that this historical and architectural monument of the 18th century is one of the first estates of the Khan dynasty and consists of 2 buildings. Muslims in France, French portal published an article about Albanian religious monuments in Azerbaijan. The site featured an article by the Islamic scholar of the French National Center for Scientific Research, doctor of the Paris School of Studies, Karim Ifrak, under the heading following the footsteps of the Caucasian Albanian Church in Azerbaijan. In the publication, the author recalls that the Orthodox, Apostolic and Autocephalous churches operated in the center of the now defunct large kingdom known as Caucasian Albania. The manuscripts of the Albanian Autocephalous Church are also mentioned. It is noted that the Armenian Gregorian Church destroyed the archives of the Church of Caucasian Albania. The disappearance of traces of the Albanian Church accelerated with the resettlement of Armenians expelled from the Ottoman and Persian empires in the territory of the Nakhchivan and Karabakh Khanates. The article also emphasizes that the first temples of Caucasian Albania date back to the 1st century BC. Gabala, the first capital of Caucasian Albania, is also mentioned. The Baltic countries paid great attention to the development of bilateral relations with Azerbaijan and support mutually beneficial cooperation covering various areas. Sahiba Gafarova, chair of the Milli Majlis, stated this at today's meeting of the Parliament. It was noted that the purpose of the visit to the Baltic countries was to contribute to the deepening of bilateral political dialogue, to consider the prospects for interparliamentary relations. Bills and amendments to the laws on health insurance, on gas supply, on freedom of religion, as well as on a partial change in the administrative territorial division of the city of Ganjar were also discussed and adopted at the meeting of the Milli Majlis. An agreement has been approved between Azerbaijan and Turkey on cooperation in the field of food security. On February 25th and 26th, the first lessons will be dedicated to the 30th anniversary of the Khojaly genocide in general education institutions and youth development centers. In this regard, the Baku City Education Department approved the action plan. Taking into account the requirements of the quarantine regime in educational institutions, it is planned to organize literary and artistic compositions, exhibition of students' paintings, screening of documentary and feature films, meetings with witnesses of the genocide and family members of the victims. That was all for the day. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.